Hallo ihr Lieben, ich bin's, Language Bay und herzlich willkommen zu meinem YouTube-Kanal. Wie geht es euch? Hoffentlich geht es euch gut. Also es geht mir heute gut, obwohl die Sonne nicht da ist, aber ist schon gut. So I started with a little German today. I know I started with Spanish, I'm trying to improve my Spanish, but whatever. Anyway, thanks for coming by. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time that I drop that heat. So, oh, and then by the way, if you already been a subscriber and you returning, thank you so much. And make sure you also have that notification bell turned on so that you can also make sure you're notified each and every time I drop that heat. So anyway, we're going to jump into the A side of things. So the A side of things, today we're going to talk about weird but effective ways that will help you improve your language skills. So one of the things I mentioned in my other videos was reading aloud. Like, read articles, read books, read the messages you write, read the messages that you receive, read everything out loud. But don't just read it out loud. Read it with animation. So, for instance, I'm trying to look. Let me see. I had a text from the other video still up. Let me see. Okay, was ist Liebe? Okay, Liebe ist zunächst einmal ein Gefühl. Das klingt zwar im ersten Moment banal, ist aber wichtig, wenn du der Antwort auf die Frage, was ist Liebe, näher kommen möchtest. So, don't just read out loud, but read it like the feeling you would read it. Like, just give it that extra oomph. Like, be animated and read it as if you were acting. And that way you can kind of get a feel for your communication style when you're feeling certain emotions, that's going to tie those words to those emotions. Also, you want to, if you're watching movies or a series in your target language, then what you want to do is you want to repeat words or lines from your favorite characters or your favorite scenes in your target language. And you want to imitate the favorite characters. Like, for instance, I was watching Celia, and the mom, was arguing with the dad, and he had said something slick, and then she was like, what's that supposed to mean? And he was like, you know what that means? She was like, no, explícame, like that. Or like when the girl confessed to Celia that the son was really the guy from the guy, and she was just like, lo sabía. And, so I do that. I do that in German too. So it really helps you when you do that. It makes you, it attaches that moment, that sentiment to those words or those phrases. So that way you say them when it's appropriate, Another thing you want to do is you want to practice in the mirror as well. You want to practice in the mirror. You want to look at yourself. You want to look at your mouth to make sure it's moving the same way that it would be moving if you see a native speaker, because a lot of the I don't even know the word in English. I want to say mündlich, not mündlich, oral, I guess you could say, the oral movements, the mouth movements, whatever. That helps when you're looking at native speakers to kind of understand, like, how are you supposed to be saying that, like, what's the sound that's supposed to be coming out of your mouth. So look in the mirror, practice, look at your mouth, make sure you're saying it correctly, like it needs to be said, as much as you can, like when you saw the native speaker. Like, look at their mouths when they're talking in these films. That's what I do. I started doing that because my mom, God rest her soul, she used to tell me about how, like, when they talk in movies, but it's like supposed to be silent, for effect or whatever, that you should try reading their lips so you can see what was said. And I do that with English language, and I also do that with the target language to see if I can kind of understand what they're saying by reading their lips. It's tedious, but it also helps you when you're trying to pronounce the words that they've been saying on screen. Another thing that is weird but effective, be your own speech therapist. So record yourself reading something or saying something, aloud, reading aloud or saying something in your target language, and play it back to see how you sound. If you notice it don't sound quite right, like it's not, something rotten in the hood or something, go back and keep practicing whatever it is that you thought it wasn't working. And then also enlist the help of a target person, a target language partner. So for instance, what I do, like if I see a word I'm not sure how to say it, I will go to dict.cc for German, and I will press the thing, and I do the same thing for Spanish. I go to Spanish. What is it? Spanish dot C something. I don't know. But I go to and I click the little sound thing so I can hear how the word is said, and then I practice it. I keep practicing it, and then I'll practice it in the little sentence that they have in the dictionary that, it'll have it in a sentence so you can know. And then the last thing I say is create little scenarios depending on how far along you are in your target language knowledge. Create little scenarios in your head and reenact scenarios from movies or whatever, because then it's like you kind of can anticipate how people will react or how to react to certain people in certain situations. So for instance, if you know somebody, like, you wearing your afro outside, and that somebody is gonna be like trying to touch your hair or something at some point, you could just be like, practice in the mirror, fass meine Haare nicht an, bitte. Like, you can just practice that. That really helps so much. So I hope you like these weird but effective ways that you could use to learn your language. Again, if this is your first time, welcome, herzlich willkommen. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I drop that heat. If you are returning, again, hit that notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I drop that heat. All right, it's been real. Thank you so much. Besitos. Language Bay.